These are wood frogs. They're a medium-sized frog that we find here in Alberta, and they're actually frogs that are found further north than any other in North America. These are the only frogs that are actually found into the Arctic, into the Northwest Territories, the Yukon, and Alaska. Part of what permits them to live at these really northerly climates is they actually freeze solid. Instead of going back into the pond and sinking down into the mud like most frogs and toads do for the winter, these guys settle into the leaf layer in the forest and they freeze solid. The heart stops beating, the brain freezes, the whole frog basically turns to a block of ice and then thaws back out when the spring comes. One of the distinguishing features for the wood frogs is the bandit mask. So when you look at them, you can actually see it's almost like they have a little robber mask on. They're voracious predators of small insects and worms and a lot of aquatic stuff that they might encounter around the pond when they're young. But once they strike out on their own as adults, they tend to leave the pond and only come back for breeding once they're adults. So these are really quite a terrestrial frog, very much a land-dwelling frog. Once they get out of that pond, they were laid in as tadpoles. So you will quite often find wood frogs quite a very long distance away from the ponds and the pools, whereas most of the time when you encounter amphibians, you can usually expect there to be a pond or a lake or at least some kind of a slough somewhat nearby.